Hey Virgo, welcome to your general love read. This is for October 19th through the 26th, however time is fluid, okay? So whenever it comes to you, that is when it was meant for you. If it does come to you today and it resonates, meant for you. If it comes to you next year and it resonates, meant for you, okay? I set out an intention of a date just to help me laser focus and pull in energies. But because time is fluid, I can be pulling in energies from any time, space, dimension, okay? So if you're new here, welcome. The greatest gift that you can give to the channel to give back is to subscribe, to share, to like. It really helps with getting the videos circulated. And I am going for the 1,000 subscribers so I can start doing live readings from my mobile phone. I just don't like the feel of it for some reason through my laptop. I'm not a fan of that. And so that's the only way I can do a live now. So I do have a desire to be able to do that from the phone. So that's the goal of the 1,000. I do also always pull a card for the collective at the beginning from my personally channeled Mindset Unicorn deck that I created about 3 years ago. And so that way you're getting something out of this. Even if you find that the message isn't resonating with you, you're getting some guidance, Virgo, from Spirit. And it's kind of a give back to you for having visited the channel in the first place. Now, down in the description box, I do have all of the links that you may have a desire for. So the decks that I use, there is a link if you would like to give a monetary donation or to see on where my decks, like the blog post for my decks shows some of the decks that I have for my wish list. So maybe you would like to donate a deck, which is also wonderful. And then there's the link for a personal reading if that's what you're looking for, or the extended, okay? So for the collective, you get winter, all right? So you could be kind of at a distance from someone, or, you know, getting the cold shoulder. This is very much a very 5 of Pentacles feel for me. And I'm also being shown like this like water crystal, and it's almost to me speaking of like you're in this space right now, okay, trying to make sense of the different dimensions of your emotion, okay, the different aspects of your emotions. The channeled message: if you have been trying to make things work out and time again it fails, perhaps you need to try something new. Now is the time to let your brilliance shine. Okay. Now the quote is talking about how winter is the spring of genius. So that time when you are in that separation, when you are pulled back, doing that exploration, looking at your emotions, that is like the rebirth of new thought pathways, new ideas, okay? That's all about that releasing the past, which Mercury retrograde, right? To come into the new, into the future. Because the, you know, intention here is clinging to the past, okay? So if winter is coming through as a 5 of Pentacles, and here we have, okay, clinging to the past as a 5. Really bringing these two concepts together is about completing a cycle, okay? And understanding, you know, that in the past, if you're doing it again and again and again the same way, maybe creating the same patterns, picking the same people, doing the same things over and over and over. Now is the time to figure that out, to birth this new genius, this new pathway, new mindsets, new paradigms, to move on. Because overall energy is 3 of Pentacles. And in this scenario here, these two crows are working against each other. And, you know, the one is just kind of taking the scraps. And the other one is sitting on top of the mountain and getting the fresh cherries. And so either you haven't been very giving, or perhaps you're tired of taking the scraps, okay? In the past, I feel like you had a big movement forward. You could have moved jobs. You could have moved across country. You could have had something happen that brought you into this ascension energy, okay? But it was a huge shift forward. Again, current energy is in the separation. Seven of Swords. This Seven of Swords is where the, you know, divine union has broken down and someone has left with their heartbreak, okay? With this great sadness. Like they're leaving, but because there's nothing left to do here in this situation. Okay, but the future energy is all about timing. All about coming into the alignment at the right time for the right moment, all right? So this week I am clarifying with Mystic and with the Wizards. And all of a sudden my face is itchy, like here and here. And we do hold on to a lot of childhood wounds in those sinus spaces. So that may speak to someone. You may have Leo in your chart because I'm seeing a little reminiscent energy here from the reading I just did on Leo. And I did clear the cards. So I have, you know, here we have King of Swords. Okay, and this King of Swords is kind of stuck, all right, because they finally kind of stepped in. They've been wearing a mask. They're still wearing the mask, but they've kind of stepped into this emotions. And with their sword, they're like, ugh, I'm turning these emotions into ice because I don't know how to deal with these emotions. Now, the Princess of Swords here, okay, is like, well, with whatever's going on here, I'm now, you know, seeing things on a different perspective. And this kind of moves somebody out of this overthinking and obsessive thought pattern about someone. Okay, this movement forward here was painful, okay? And it brought up a lot of decisions here in the past. I feel like it made someone realize perhaps how unhappy they had been. And Queen of Swords in reverse. Perhaps the movement forward moved them down a painful choice, away from the Queen of Swords, okay? Okay, now if the King of Swords, if that sword is all about control, okay? Controlling the thoughts, controlling the emotions for the king, controlling the sight for the princess here, you know, for the Queen, it's fighting things off, cutting things off. This split up current energy is all about clarity of all of that. And the understanding here of the shadow work that is being called for. All right. And I feel like this shadow work has everything to do, okay, with love and perhaps even, you know, the love of your life. And understanding, Virgo, where perhaps you didn't give to this love of your life in the way that you had wished you had, okay? Wheel of Fortune, divine timing here, okay? Knight of Pentacles. Looking here at the wheel. What am I going to do with this wheel? Okay. Well, I'm going to manifest something that's less painful than where I was in the past. Because that pain was too much for me. But then, okay, Six of Cups. Then I'm going to bring in this reconciliation. And the bottom of the crow is also Six of Cups. So I do feel like, okay, it is kind of really about bringing forth a reconciliation, but without the pain that you went through here in the past. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be which queen here. So let's get some clarity, okay? So tell me about Princess of Swords here. Okay, I feel like the Princess of Swords, okay, the clarity that's coming through is that you want more, okay? King of Pentacles, which is underground, hidden. You want this King of Swords to step up into more stability, okay? And you're wishing for this. Like you are bringing this into fruition, because what's going to balance you out is going to be this heart-centric stability that you're missing within this energy, okay? Like, I feel like the no longer overthinking, okay? I feel like the overthinking on either part of the king or the princess has been about the family, okay? And how things, you know, how patterns brought on this, you know, inner sword thought process turmoil. But with the Seven of Wands here, the release of that, okay, is opening up the ability to think about what action do you want to take? What direction do you want to go? And with the princess kind of bending this sword, right, to see that new perspective, there is this desire to create something different with a higher level of connection between these two than they've had before. Okay, in the past here, Two of Swords, the painful decision really was Queen of Swords here, okay? It was seeing almost feel like here, okay, on the Six of Pentacles, usually they show me this as an inner child, but we've got the Princess and the Queen. I almost feel like one is older, one is younger. All right. And so for somebody, it could be, you know, having to choose between, you know, perhaps your, you know, your mother and your girlfriend, or, you know, genders don't really matter. It could be father and boyfriend. But the nurturing older figure and the you know, the fun sort of younger figure. And, you know, here is this, you know, masculine, divine masculine, sitting on the side, kind of watching these two and the interactions between them. Okay, and seeing the differences between the princess and the queen, and, you know, wondering, well, where do I go? What direction do I take? I'm taking action forward, but which is it going to be? Which is the less painful? Okay, and so I feel like, okay, this king chose, okay, the young empress, and thought, I'll leave the door open for, you know, the connection for a later date. But I feel like the queen, okay, said, I'm taking my own action forward. I'm not going to sit here and wait for you. Caused a lot of inner, you know, Five of Wands energy for the divine masculine. That's what ended the sunshine. Like, you can't have both. Okay? Okay, current energy here, okay? The shadow work. You do still see, you watch the one that got away. You're still undecided here, okay? Kind of on the outside and holding on to this rose, holding on to this love that you had, but you're not contacting this person at all. Completely guarded, not taking any of the actions that you desire. If you're wondering, is this your soulmate? It is. I do feel like in the communications that you had with this person, you did fall in love with each other. And it did happen very quickly, but it was scary, okay? And it did cause you to pull yourself back. Okay, very interesting. Energy moving forward here on this divine timing, okay, on the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Knight of Pentacles clarified with Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords. I feel like you're trying to become the Emperor, okay, like you're trying to upgrade yourself. Like, I'm going to restart, like reset the computer. Okay, I'm coming in with the passions. I'm coming in with the fight with the swords. I'm coming in with this new beginning with the pentacles. What's missing is the cups. Okay, and that's why I think someone might have Leo in their chart, or you might be dealing with a Leo, because the Leo had the dragon, which is missing the cups, okay? And then that's because of the overthinking. Will you accept me back? Will you reject me? Okay. But I feel like with the Magician here and the Six of Cups, this person is going to come forward regardless. But with the Six of Cups here, they're working into that emotions despite the fear of the emotions, okay? The deception between the two here is going to be over, okay? Because that cycle is ending. The coming forward with the Six of Cups means, okay, even though I'm afraid that you're going to reject me, I'm going to come forward. And there we have it. Turbulent King of Cups. Okay, I'm going to come forward with my cup, even if it is the scariest thing I have ever done. Okay. And that is the end of the heartbreak, okay? The heartbreak is being without you. Yeah, this is how Leo's reading started. Overall energy, King of Swords, having a stare down with this truth, okay? How long can I stare at this truth and before it finally overtakes me and I have to take some sort of action? All right. And what is that action? Okay. Recognizing that the harvest that I'm sitting on is not necessarily what I want, but this pentacle, this new start over here, and understanding the action I want is for one specific passionate connection, okay? And of course, out pops the Time Master, who also popped out for Leo. This is about coming into that heart-centric synergy with the one that you are meant to be with, your infinity, okay? Moving all time, dimension, space to find this being, okay? The thunder, all right? It is the sound before the tower. It is the sound that happens before your thoughts overtake you from the overthinking, and you suddenly have a knowing of where you are. And when the thunder happens, what happens afterwards, right? We have the sound, and oftentimes then followed by the rain, okay? And so this is standing in the emotions and having it not only overtake you, but having it transform you, okay, into the being, the heart that you're meant to have. And then that brings the rainbow afterwards, right? After the storm becomes that beautiful rainbow, that beautiful movement forward that tells us that everything is wonderful, that the rain has its place. It creates the growth. It creates the, you know, the beautiful flowers that bloom, and the trees and the plants, and it gives us the beauty. And that movement forward really is that, you know, as you've gone through all of this, that you now have the beauty. Okay? So I'm going to move into the extended. I'm going to look at the flip side energy. So look at this from the opposite direction. So it could be more from your person than from you, or just what you're not seeing, whatever spirit is guided to bring forward. And the link is in the description box, and I hope to see you there. All right? Thanks. Bye.